and welcome to the race stream. The drivers are already halfway through, or over halfway through their formation lap, and the stream would have started a few seconds earlier. Just had a little technical issue, which is why the camera is doing all sorts of Ujima flips right now, but it's all sorted now. So, as we have a look, all drivers are going to be lining up on the grid in their grid spots that they have just qualified in. I'm your commentator today, Nathaniel. And, well, we await the start of the session. Let's just have a look at the start of the grid formation lap. And away we go for the formation lap. Green. Look at that lovely grid. Many different colours that we see. And it's a front row lockout for Kauai Racing, as they had a brilliant qualifying just now. Both of them getting onto the front row. Tommy in P1 and obviously C's in P2. We are going to be looking forward for an amazing 45-minute race around the lovely highway streets of Mount Panorama, otherwise known as the Bathurst street circuit. It's amazing, everyone loves it, but it is very cruel. If you don't race it right, this circuit will definitely tell you that you haven't done it right. How will it do that? Well, you just crash out. It is very unforgiving, as I said. One slight mistake and you're in the barrier and you've got a hefty repair bill to do. So, without further ado, we will see these cars going through another twisty section. We've just had the first twisty section, and now into twisty section number 2, I like to call it, starting with this corner right here. It doesn't look too hard, but it's right on the top of a crest, and if you know what that means, it means the car has no weight on the wheels, which means it's actually very difficult to get done well. These drivers, they've had a week to practice, and we expect a really good race from these drivers. This is the final race for GTWC. It's been a great season, and we currently have a two-way battle for the lead, if I'm not mistaken, in the championship. Two-way championship battle, which is very exciting. We also have a two-way battle for the Prix. So if we just have a look at the two standings, we can have a look. Goose and Gabby, they are fighting for P1, but Goose hasn't turned up, so Gab is the winner. Then we have a two-way battle for P3, iCrafter and Michaelox. Michaelox isn't in this race, so iCrafter gets P3. Let's have a look as we get 4 lights. And it's away we go for the start of the race. Great start from the red driver there. I think that's Paradox. No, it's... who is that? Oh, it's I Love. Okay. Great start from I Love, making up 4 positions, I believe. But these two drivers, the two Kauai racing drivers, they've got a stonker of a start, and they've just pulled away from the rest of the pack. Look at that, 3-second gap from P1 to P3. Astonishing, just in one corner, one straight. I've never seen a gap this big in my life. Well, let's ride on board with this driver right here. This driver is, of course, the one and the only C's. He is well known in BeamGP, one of the more common folks you'll see. And yes, he's very talented around the cars that he drives. And well, you can see he and his teammates have pulled a stonking gap. He's had a mistake though. He may be talented, but he is not immune from mistakes. No one is, and you've seen just there just how difficult that top of the racetrack corner is, just how easy it is to go off track and make a mistake. Let's have a look further back, as I believe iCrafter is having a little four-way battle for P3. All bumped and bruised is his car, and there's been a collision. The yellow, the Wesley's in the barrier. That's two cars involved. Paradox and Wes, they are both in the barrier. That's not what you wanted. There's Wesley. There's Paradox. Paradox has got his car pointing forward. So has Wesley. They will go back to the pit lane, but their cars are not healthy. Look at how much Paradox is swerving all over the track, trying to keep his car going straight. Let's have a look as he goes through the next corner. Well, if he can even make it to the next corner, that is. He somehow does make it around that corner, but that is not what you want. Still green flags though. But let's have a look at one of the battles. This is Mr. M. Mr. M is fighting with iCrafter, trying to get past. On board with Mr. M now. I don't pop up for it. These two teammates, the White Falcon drivers, trying to get their points as high as they can. A little bump there maybe from Mr. M to iCrafter. That was definitely a bump there from the two teammates. Not what you want. iCrafter's just letting him pass. That is, well, maybe because he doesn't want his car getting destroyed, and maybe good teamwork there. I'll leave that for you to, for you viewers to decide. But around we go. Over the top, we have a look. Wow, Mr. M's car is also swerving quite badly as the rear end steps out. I thought it was about to spin it into the gravel. Around the trickiness we go. This is where old Hoppy a few years ago did get his lap disqualified. Unfortunately, kangaroos can't take racing lines. This track renowned for its difficulty, but also its love of wildlife. You see a range of critters roaming the circuit. Of course, it is a public road at the end of the day. It is a highway, and on highways and the outback, you do get lots of wildlife just roaming around, trying to get from one side to the other. Kangaroos are no different. There's a virtual safety car, and you can see why right there. Hypo has had an issue. He's got it going forwards again though, and he's back on track. But with this virtual safety car, he might be able to get a new set of tyres. 7.5 minutes into the race, you can see Hypo is pulling into the pit lane, and it'll be interesting to see what happens from here. Wesley is also pulling into the pit lane. He is going to fix a bit of damage on his car. Let's go to iCrafter. iCrafter is going to overtake both of them and get P4. He's not pitting. He does have a bit of damage on the front, as you can see, but he doesn't believe that that is enough, and he's just going to keep driving. Let's have a look at the drivers at the front, though. This is C's and his teammate Tumi. They've been caught up to by Mr. M, and I believe iCrafter is going on reasonably slowly. You can see Hypo and Wesley, they're both caught up to iCrafter, and iCrafter is going strangely slowly. I would say this is dangerously slow, so Hypo and Wesley would have the ability to pass. He shouldn't be going this slowly, but we'll keep watching this and see what happens. Let's ride on board with Hypo, actually. You can see he's honking his horn pretty constantly, actually, right now. And iCrafter is not budging. The lights have started flashing to tell him to speed up. I don't think he's getting the message. Are they going to just pass him? That's what I would do. We will wait and see. Craft Paradox has left the pit lane now, and he will join this pack if iCrafter doesn't get a move on. Well, these two drivers are not going to be too happy about iCrafter pulling the stunt, and another red eye, quite frankly. You can see just how agitated they are. They want to get past. I'm not sure. Oh, he's got a warning now. iCrafter has a warning for not catching up to the leader. He is going to be under investigation. The stewards then, he's gone off, he's locked his brakes, and that's a driver just stationary. iLove is very badly damaged, and that is probably why we have the virtual safety car. That is a very dangerous spot, and I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled out an actual safety car for that, but I don't think. We got a driver this weekend, unfortunately. Yeah, that is a very dangerous position to stop your car. Sometimes you can't help it. Other times it's Maybelline. Let's have a look at C's though. Whoa, what was that? From Wesley, just taking out 5 competitors. Let's have a look at Hypo. He's trying to get his car pointing forwards again. Let's have a look at Paradox. Paradox is all the way back here. Let's have a look at iCrafter. He's in the gravel. That's a red flag. And I wonder what's going to happen to Wesley. He can't just get away scot-free from that unless that was some major desync. That would be unreasonable in my short view of that. Let's have a look at... We can't have a look at Tommy for some reason. Oh, because we're already looking at Tommy. Let's have a look at Mr. M. Look how damaged those two cars are. Blimey. Let's have a look at how Wesley's car is looking. That is one crumpled nose. Yeah. The drivers have been told to wait in the pit boxes, but those two drivers, the Kawaii racing drivers, haven't exactly followed that instruction. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. We just need to wait and see what happens. Everyone returns to the pits. So the AGT Motorsport of I Love Snickers 69 is out of the race. He has crashed, and everyone else is in the pit lane, somehow surviving the first 12 minutes of the race. What a shot to get back to. Just the cameras look at that and then bam, just get driven into the back of Mach something or other. Interesting deliberations about that will be held long into the night, with the stewards deciding who is at fault and if no one's at fault. But not exactly something that would just be unlooked at. Not looked at, however you want to say it. So with the driver is now in the pit lane, we are waiting to see what will happen and when we will be able to go racing again. The race timer is still going up, which means we only have half an hour left of the race. Hypo has given us a reset. He's back though, driving in the Leighton house. He obviously had a desync with the servo, lost connection. Here is the official restart order. It will be number 27, number 955, so Tommy, then C's, then number 11, and then it'll be number 73, then it will be number 63, two more drivers, 202 and P7. Final driver will be number 93. So as the drivers get ready to go racing again, we go out for another formation lap. So we've had a lot of action in the last 15 minutes, and it's just what we wanted, isn't it? One red flag, lots of crashes, and now we're going to start for a second time. The drivers are lining up in the order that they have just been given, and I will read the positions out to you now. So, how it is currently: Tommy C's, iCrafter, Mr. M, Paradox, Hypo, and then Wesley. I think Hypo is trying to give Wesley the position, but Wesley doesn't want to seem to take the position. So it seems Hypo has got the message and is now going to catch up to the pack, which is good. We will go to the front of the pack though. This is C's. Riding on board with C's. We can see that he's doing his best. He's P2 currently. He did start P2. It was a Quai Racing lockout of the front row, if you remember the original starting grid. Currently, it is another Quai Racing front row lockout for this restart. Into Twisty number 2. We see the drivers all putting their cars, trying to warm up the tyres, warm up the brakes, get the car just how it needs to be. Everyone has had one pit stop, at least I hope. And, well, another 30 minutes. It'll be exciting to see what happens now. You can see just how different the strategies for warming up the cars are to me. Paradox and C's doing the wibbly wobblies, everyone else holding the brakes. Two different strategies, they both work perfectly fine, somewhat better than others, but it's just what you like and what you feel is better. But around we go, almost starting the end of the formation lap, so almost ending the formation lap, should I say, as they around the final corner, we can get going again. Let's just have a look at them as they crest the hill, and we go green at Mount Panorama. Just have a look at these cars zoom by. Let's have a look at Hypo as he tries to make up a position on Mr. M. He does make up a position, gets the rear end loosey-goosey. Wesley going slightly off track and gaining a position on iCrafter. iCrafter going very deep on the inside and losing out 2, maybe 3 positions. But up in front, it is still C's and Tommy. Sees, though, under a bit of pressure from Hypo. Hypo is sticking to him. Not as near a good a start from the two Kauai Racing drivers as before. Although the gap from P1 to P3 is 3 seconds again, and is still rising. Sees doesn't seem to have got the same start that he did on the first start. You can't expect everyone to have the same consistency, but you know, look at that gap, 7 seconds, and Sees is in the gravel. He's caught his car, but he's spun it around. That's gonna have to be a yellow flag, and he's just been taken out by Wesley. Let's have a look at Wesley's car. That's a virtual safety car, and that is a lot of damage on Wesley's car. He has lost a front wheel, and he is going to have to nurse his car back to the pit lane. Let's have a look at Sees, the driver whose car was absolutely taken out by Wesley. I've never seen something like that happen. Lots of chaos here at Mount Panorama. Let's have a look at Paradox. Paradox is behind Hypo. Hypo's just lost his car by himself, binned it under the virtual safety car. What is Hypo doing? That he's lost it, he's binned it, and then he's joined on the track right in front of another driver. He can't be too happy about that now, and he's lost it again. Now, I don't know if he's trying to do some sort of tricks here, some stunts, but I'm sure some of the stewards will have a stern look at that. 2 spins, almost taking out more drivers, and an unsafe rejoin. The stewards will definitely do something about that, though. However, everyone is lined up all together now. Hypo is now at the back of the pack, seemingly with no control of his rear end. 5 drivers entering the pits. P1, Paradox, entering the pits now. Toomey, Wesley, Mycrafter, Sees, and Hypo. Only 2 drivers are staying out. I've never seen something like this in the history of BeamGP, that I've been paying attention to at least. 2 drivers, everyone else going to fix their cars. Well, that just tells you how big the pile-up was. Let's have a look at the 2 drivers that did stay out, Paradox and Mr. M. Toomey has made it back out, but he has dropped 2 positions. Mr. M, though, he has risen right to the top of the leaderboard. He is now P1. Paradox here in the Mustang-like car. No, apologies, the Ferrari-esque car. He is now P2 for AGT Motorsport. The team's going to be very happy if the race were to end now, but it won't end now. We have another 23 minutes of racing to go, so don't go anywhere, boys and girls, because we have more interesting scenarios to see. Expect the virtual safety car to end this lap, as everyone is now back in line. Riding on board with Paradox. Do I have a pop-up? We will have a quick look. No pop-up. No. Just listen to that engine though. We'll do a very quick little break and have a listen to the engine noise. as the drivers go through the twisty section again, downhill this time. We prepare for a potential restart. 20 minutes on the clock remaining, and this is going to get very, very spicy. The two fastest cars. What's going on with Timmy? It's obvious. I didn't get a green flag. Oh. Okay, I guess green flag. And didn't see a green flag. Apparently they did though. So Tommy is now P1. Sees hunting down Paradox. Paradox is the driver we are looking at here, the yellow car. It's a Kauai Racing sandwich with a Kauai red AGT to fill in and another Kauai red to finish it off. Lovely sandwich right there. Paradox though holding his own against Seas and trying to catch up to Tommy, but Tommy's pulling a gap as he has the past few restarts. Apologies about the explicit in the chat. Skycrafter has made a mistake, apparently. Let's just have a quick look. Oh, he's had enough. Oh, well done. But Mr. M is not too happy about that, as you can imagine two teammates shouting at each other. Well, somehow that's just how some teams work. Let's have a look at Mr. M, though, on board with him, as Seas has had a moment. Seas has had a crash. Is Wesley going to collide with him? I think he has. He definitely has. Wesley has just stormed through Seas. He wasn't there. So potentially some desync issues with Wes. Well, looking at that thing. That's unfortunate. So Caesar's going to have to go back to the pits and fix his car. Caesar's not having a good race all of a sudden. After that second safe restart, he's just not been the same self he was at the start of the race. He's going to have to make up a lot of positions and time to get back up to the front. Let's have a look at Mr. M though. Mr. M chasing down Paradox, and let's have a look on the dash cam board and see just how it looks to catch Paradox. Both drivers getting a very loose rear end of the final exit of the final corner. Into the first corner though, over the start-finish line. Both drivers braking at about the same time, not same point, same time. But both drivers also getting another loose rear end. Paradox though, he is pulling a little gap. As you can see, he's getting a bit further away. Let's have a look on the exit cam. It's just how fast they are. Locking up the brakes is Paradox as we go into turn 2, out of turn 2 now. Look at how much that gap has shrunk. Riding on board with Mr. M though, he's just about managed to catch his car before it's gone into the barriers, and Paradox hasn't. Paradox in the barriers. Let's just have a look. Somehow he's managed to avoid any form of damage from anyone. Wesley getting past unscathed. Let's have a look at Wesley with a bit of decent damage from Seas, and well, his car screaming as it passes, pushing his car to the limits. Is Wesley using every millimeter of track that he can, and he's making his car definitely work for its retirement at the end of the race as he goes through the twisty section. On board with him now. That is not the camera angle I wanted. That is, you can see the rear end stepping out as it is for most cars. Down the long straight we go, and there is chatting in the which makes no sense. Let's have a look, however. at one of the drivers. Which driver, I hear you ask? Well, this driver, this is Hypo. He's trying to catch Paradox again. Let's ride on board and show you just how close they are. You can see him, and that is a goal. When you see a driver, you try and overtake the driver. And that is what's going to happen right here. Hypo trying and catching Paradox. You can see that gap now, 4 seconds, and closing. No, the gap is closing this fast. Hypo, he is definitely shrinking the gap to Paradox. I don't know if Paradox has any damage. Let's just... let's ride on board with Hypo and just see where he's gaining the time. Through turn 2, the long right-hander which goes on for such a long time in the car. And now into the twisty uphill section. Twisty 1, as I might call it. Oh, that corner. Renowned for its oversteer. The worst opportune moment. Somehow, Hypo keeping his car in a straight line. Off camera now and tapping the barrier. That's how you want to do it. When actually, you don't want to touch the barrier at all. But if you do touch the barrier, you just want to clip it. Not like that. You just want to make it aware that you've passed it. A love tap, some might say. Twisty section now. Let's see how twisty it really is while you're chasing another driver. Through we go. These two drivers. Around we go. Onto the start again, and that is just how much time we have gained to Paradox. I don't know if Paradox, his tyres are worn. We've got 15 minutes of the race left. Let's have a look at the gap. And it's closing rapidly. Around the corner we go. And here's the first braking zone. That brakes cold, locking up from both drivers. Paradox going a little bit off track. And that has allowed Hypo to catch back up again. Trying to look down the inside. Doesn't quite get it to work, does Hypo. Now back to the outside, and he's going to have to put the power down to try his hardest to overtake. He's just looking down the inside. He's applying pressure on Paradox. He's trying to make Paradox make a mistake himself. He's trying to force an error. And you can see Wesley in the distance there. Into turn 2 now, over the crest. Look at the gap. The gap is almost nothing. Just sneaking his nose towards the inside of Paradox, though. I don't think Paradox is very much being phased by this. And Hypo seems to be the one making an issue. Driving in there's a wheel on track. I don't know where that's come from. But as I was saying, Hypo hiding with the barrier. We'll have to see what's happened to cause that wheel to just appear. And that gap, though, has grown to Paradox. So Hypo, maybe he was too eager. Maybe he's worn his tyres out too much, and maybe he needs to cool them down. We will find out as these drivers catch back up. Just see how small the gap closes as Hypo really pushes his car to the limit that it can go. A little bit of dust being kicked up as Hypo goes past one of the exit points. You can hear that engine roar, scream more rather, into the heavy braking zone over the left and then right. And it's a very good job here from Hypo. He's doing pretty well. But as I say he's doing pretty well, he almost bins it. Commentator's curse strikes once more into the left-hander of lap 11. Turn 1, what I meant to say. and the race is kind of settling down again now. Hypo, I think he's trying to cool his tyres off, maybe not wear them quite as much, which you could say is sensible. We've got 10 minutes of the race left, and you don't want to wear your tyres out only for the last 2 minutes, have nothing left of your tyres, and then just be overtaken again. That would not be very good at all. And maybe Hypo is just trying to save a bit of his tyres to bounce back in the last 5 minutes of the race. We will find out, so don't go anywhere. All will be foreseen as Hypo collides with the barrier, straightens the barrier, and he has stopped on track. On the racing line, he gets his car going again, but I think he's just reset. Wesley's in the barrier though. What has happened with Wesley? What has happened here? He seems to have lost his wheels. Not exactly sure what's happened with Wes or why a virtual safety car hasn't been called, but that is not safe. I didn't even see Wesley falling down the order. Well, I'm not sure if what's going to happen. A virtual safety car has been called, but I dare put a red flag out for this. Let's have a look at iCraft riding on board as we pass. You can see just how little gap there is to pass. You're going to have to really slow down to get through there. Well, that's just another turn as we have a few minutes left of this race. I have to hurry this up if they want to get the green flag for the last lap. Mr. M behind Tummy. Then we have Paradox and C's, then iCrafter. And who's the other Leighton House driver? Do you guys remember? That's right, it's iCrafter. iCrafter is now last. Wesley is now out. Unfortunate, but you can't help these things sometimes. And that rear wing of Wesley is just moving on a mind of its own. We have 7 minutes left of the race, and we're currently under virtual safety car, if you want to know why. Wesley has his car moving again, so I couldn't tell you. Okay, let's have a look at C's, see how quickly he can catch up. It's another kawaii sandwich. Kawaii bread, white falcon filling this time, and another kawaii bread. Very, very filling race, I shall say. And C's has now caught back up to the pack. And we will see what happens now. I think next lap we will be going green. But don't count me on that. Here's another driver. It's Paradox. He's caught up to the pack here. Let's have a look at the driver behind that though. Hypo. Locking up his brakes, he almost goes off. That under virtual safety car, not what you want to be doing. Two drivers entering the pit lane. Mr. M and Paradox, they're entering the pit lane. This means that it's a Kawaii Racing 1-2. Front row again for Kawaii Racing. Can they hold it? They'll have one more lap, I believe, maybe two, of racing after the this virtual safety car has ended to go racing again. And can they hold this position? Don't go anywhere, guys. As I said, things will happen that you won't expect. And we will see that now. But we wait for the pack to catch up though. And we circuit once more. Some advanced tyre warming strategies are being done, executed to keep these tyres nice and warm. If they're too cold, they don't work, you slip, you go straight off. If they are too hot, they don't work, they slip, you slide off, but backwards. And we're just waiting for Wesley now to catch back up, and then we can drive. Yeah, he's catching back again. That tire's going down. Talking of Wesley, let's have a look at where he is. Oh, he's unlapped himself. But he's still having Arabian internet issues. Let's go back to this pack here. Nose to tail, nose to tail, nose to tail. That's the front four drivers right here. You can see Paradox and Miss and Hypo doing the weaving, doing the bob. As we crest the hill once more. Lap 13, we've got 3.5 minutes left of the race. That should be just about enough time to do 2 more laps, if we get going now. These drivers have been driving for about 35 minutes now, because we had a little break. So they might be getting a bit worn out. Fatigue might be showing its very early signs. Of course, you'd hope it won't be, but some of these drivers have more to prove, we will say. And I believe we can start going in about 20 seconds. Wesley's just had another issue. Nope, he is just trying to get past. Let's have a look at C's, who is P2 currently. The order, as it stands, is... Oh my gosh, Mr. M. He needs to stop swearing. I apologise for the explicit used in the chat. So we have Prix, C's, Hypo, Mr. M, Paradox, iCrafter, and then Wesley. I have no words anymore for this. That was just confusing. Anyway, I believe we're going to go green any moment now. As we see, we will do one more lap. One more lap of racing. Starting as soon as they cross the line. VSC ending. Waiting for the green flag. Green flag. Let's have a look. Who is going to be in front at turn 1? As they crest the hill, Tumi sees Hypo, Crafter, and then the others. Let's have a look at C's, who is P2. Riding on board with him as a passenger, we can see just how much the gap is growing in front as you crest the little bump there. And into turn 2, braking, you see just how the gap shrinks. The gap, no, well, that's weird camera angle. Oh, Hyper's in the barrier. Hyper has hit the barrier and has stopped. He's got his car moving forwards again. Wesley behind him. But Paradox and Hyper seem to have had a lot of issues in that section. Unlucky for them, they are at the back. Let's have a look at C's now. C's trying to catch up to his teammate, Tommy. And, oh, Mr. M, very skittish on the exit of that corner as he enters the gravel. Just about gets his tyres dirty, and oh, what is happening to Mr. M? He's trying to go for it. He's trying to go for it down the inside. Let's ride on board with him as we can see just how tight it is down this section that he's trying to overtake on. As we enter the long straight, he's going to have some slipstream, and this is going to be an interesting final couple of corners. Mr. M, though, what is he going to be able to do? Can he get past C's, or is he going to finish P2? Let's have a quick look into the next corner. He thinks about going for it, but he doesn't go for it. Let's have a look at Tommy, though, as Tommy rounds the final corner, and he becomes victorious. Well done to Tommy. He's won the Bathurst race, followed by Mr. M and C's. Mr. M did manage to get past on the second corner. I think C's had a little bit of going wide there. Unfortunate for C's, but you can't be too disappointed with third. He had a good start to the race, but he didn't really have a good middle or end of the race. So, you know, you can't be too disappointed with third. But Tommy, though, every lap of that race, I think Tommy was leading, other than a couple behind the virtual safety car. Impressive from Tommy, and a very dominant win for him today. He should be definitely proud of that. If I can just have a little look, I would be able to do something. So, everybody, I would like us to put our heads down, pay respect, however you pay respect, to the national anthem of the winner. The Finnish national anthem for the Finnish winner, Tommy. So thank you everyone for watching, and if you stick around on the Twitch, then you will get to see... You know, I'm not sure the race is finished yet. I feel like it should have done something to signify that it's finished already, but I'm not sure. gosh, more explicit. So apologies about the colourful language used by Mr. M. We'll just wait until he crosses the line and see what happens. There we go. Oh, alright. Well, there's your winner. Gosh. And, well done to me for winning the race. C has managed to get P2. I don't know what's happening. But if you stick around on the Twitch, we will stream the F3. And if you go on to the YouTube channel, because we have a YouTube channel as well, hello YouTube viewers, we will be streaming the F3 there. So Twitch viewers, you don't need to go anywhere. YouTube viewers, go to our live section and choose the F3 qualifying stream. Or if you don't want to watch qualifying, go to the race stream. We'll stream the race there. So thanks everyone for watching. This has been the season finale for the Grand Tour World Championship. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next season.